Christian Zionism. How are so many Christians tricked into this, especially since Zionists openly hate Christians? It all started in 1909 with the publication of the Scofield Reference Bible, a Rothschild Zionist-funded reinterpretation of the Bible to help Zionists create the state of Israel with the tricked support from the Christians. They paid somebody to reinterpret the words of the Bible to American Christians. The tricks are in the footnote interpretations of the scripture, and sometimes there was more footnotes than actual scripture on the page. And here's an example of how intentionally far off the interpretations could be from the actual scripture. Listen.
The footnote reads, God made an unconditional promise of blessing through Abram's seed to the nation of Israel to inherit a specific territory forever. But the passage doesn't say anything like this. God orders Abram to go to a land that God will show him, using the first person familiar thee, meaning Abram and no one but Abram. The passage does not say that God is giving any piece of land to anybody forever. It doesn't say anything about Israel. In fact, if we accept biblical history, we know that Abram had no children when this happened, and not for quite a while. So there was no person or nation named Israel when this promise was made. There was no state or nation named Israel. The man Israel did not even exist in Abram's imagination when God spoke to him.
All those tricks were to use Christians' own religion against them, all to help create the state of Israel and protect it in the future. Now listen to how they even tricked Christians into supporting the Jews with godly rewards and godly threats, putting words in God's mouth to trick people.
There is a promise of blessing upon the individuals and nations who bless Abram's descendants, and a curse lay upon those who persecute the Jew. The word Jew is used in the footnotes in describing an occurrence 2,000 to 3,000 years before the word Jew existed. In fact, Jew is taken from the name Judah, who was, it is told, one of the 12 grandsons of Abraham, Abram of Genesis 12. Neither Judah nor Jew existed, and this footnote is a false concoction.
That is messed up. They mass-produced this book by Oxford University Press, taught it to pastors who went and taught it to other pastors who preached it to Christians. And the propaganda became self-perpetuating without the Christians even knowing that they're actually spreading false political propaganda. From this very clever manipulative trick, does Christian Zionism even exist? And sadly still influences domestic and foreign policy to this day.
My sense was the Scofield stuff, which has had massive implications for our foreign policy, for example, and in our domestic politics, was probably a lie. I do know that that translation or that commentary on the Bible has had massive effects on our politics that have been very, very negative and resulted in the deaths of a lot of people.
It's a trick. Zionists are our enemy. They hate Christians and use us for donations, political support, and even our soldiers. Help expose and stop this propaganda.